It doesn't. Everything is automatic. You go in there, the light comes on. You leave the room, the light goes on. Yeah, so it's again, it saves a lot of money. And of course, another boring meeting room.
At least the chairs are colorful.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Ruby.
Again, space collaboration. You really try not to have officers because you know what? People go into offices, people lock up the door and you don't know what the hell they are accomplishing. Most of the time, it's probably not very much. Over here, it's not super comfortable, so you don't want to spend half a day in this kind of place. You sit down there, you get the job done, and then you go off. And then somebody else come in and continue the journey.
So you can see a lot more color. Are there actually people working?
Yeah, still working, still working. They want to be trying to show
This is
off.
not Maxis
Hey, what's that? Hey.
Because of the layout of the floor plan, sometimes you cannot have the standard rectangular block. Then we just make sure that whatever that we do, we take advantage of the floor space. This is not really a meeting room, but if you need to have a presentation, you need to show off some video, you need to share something, this is brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. You will see a lot of these kind of places. This is basically a private phone room. If you need to make a private call, you come in, you go into the room, you make the call, you close the door. Every time you close the door, a light comes on. So when you're passing by, you say, oh, okay, somebody inside the room. Okay. And then the light there also automatically comes on, you leave, it automatically goes out. So that alone probably saves us a lot of money, and we tonight are very happy with us. This is our chairman's room, Tan Sri Raja Arshad. So he has his room. His room looks slightly old-fashioned, but why we're going to change it so that this room will also look exactly like the rest of Maxis. We have a lot of painting. They're from local artists, Malaysian artists, Indonesian artists. They're not super expensive painting. They're not by Michelangelo, by the way, but they're nice. They add color to the whole place, and I think you can see, isn't it, rather than just having some drab.
It's like a 3D, right?
It looks like 3D. It's not, but it looks like 3D.
Almost like an optical illusion.
And the other thing that I can tell you that even though we have a lot of nice painting, they are all out here in the open for everybody to see. I work in the kind of company where to see the nice stuff, you have to go to the executive floor, and you're not allowed to be on the executive floor. So the big bosses get to see all of the nice painting, they keep all of the nice stuff. Over here, everything that we have is available to everybody. You know, so if we have a million ringgit painting, which we don't, it will be here for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
Now, this is supposed to be just a standard meeting room, but there's no reason why a standard meeting room cannot be nice. Yeah. Come, you're not looking at what's inside the room. We always try to have the table to be oval. It is much more democratic. It's not like you're at the head of the table.
Softer as well.
It'll be softer. You know where the boss is going to see it, but it's not like he is right there at the head and everybody have to target him or whatever it is. And again, like the point that I keep making to everybody else is that this is not super expensive. We're not spending $1 million per room by putting in all of those fancy stuff. These are very practical things and they work very well. The most important, the most expensive thing in this room is clearly the white the flat screen. And it serves a purpose. You don't have to use projector. Everybody can just hook up and you can put video, you can put everything. Another one of our informal meeting room. This is where Morton usually have coffee with employees. Once every few weeks, we would invite employee 10 or 15 of them, go inside here, serve coffee, have a chat for half an hour, 1 hour, and then go off. Can you imagine again a big conference room and then the CEO sit there and say, tell me what do you think about the company? Everybody will be going, nobody will want to say
I
it.
just add, I mean, this is obviously based on experience. I mean, we use this meeting room every week for our morning briefings, and it doesn't just give a different environment. It changes the whole dynamics of the definition of a meeting. Every time you think about a meeting, everyone gets a bit uptight and all that. Like, now,
It takes the hierarchy.
It loosens
away.
up everything.
Yeah,
you know,
it takes the
so-
hierarchy away. Otherwise, you have this big meeting room, and you know who's the boss because of where he or she sits, and everybody clamp down. Nobody want to open their mouth because the atmosphere is stifling, it's intimidating, and you make you feel timid. Yeah.
Entry.
We also have some pretty old-fashioned, rather boring meeting room for the board and for other staff. So we can handle everything, basically. We can handle young people, we can handle not so young people. So this is the traditional boardroom. Let's go up.
Syok juga datang kerja.
Hah?
Syok juga datang
Ya,
kerja.
betul. Ya. Macam duduk kat rumah lah. Kan? Cuma tak ada TV je. Siap kalau ada Astro and then PlayStation. Oh, PlayStation. Oh, semua ada. Oh, heaven lah. And then
Get the PlayStation.
ada tempat tidur ke apa kan. Macam Google Play.
This is a typical working floor. Every floor will have a pantry. Every floor will have a pantry. We have free coffee, free tea, free whatever it is you want to go and have. It's open to everybody. You can just go out there and have your coffee and have tea. You nak makan also, there's a nice place there for makan. We have cutlery, everything is there. This is one of the meeting room, and when the top management team want to have a meeting, this is a typical room that we use. Would anybody like to guess where the CEO sits? Right there. That's where he sits.
Oh.
And I sit directly opposite him. So one of us has been really bad in our previous life because we have to suffer each other every day. But that's it. He is sitting at exactly the same kind of desk and exactly the same kind of seat like anybody else in the whole company. So you could be a toilet cleaner, you could be the clerk, you could be the CEO, absolutely no distinction. All of us also have one of these lockers. So it's a little bit like a high school locker. At the end of the day, we open it up, we put our stuff. Tomorrow we come in, we start all over again. And because the locker is not enormous in size, it doesn't store that much paper, it helps you to become paperless. Because if I print every damn thing, then where am I going to keep them?
Yeah.
In the beginning, when I started working, I used to carry them into my car. You know, papers are so precious, you don't want to throw it away, you don't have any place to put it. Bawa masuk kereta keluar. After a while, you sort of get used to it, you don't need all the paper. And this is the printer for the whole floor. So we don't make printing easy, so whether you like it or not, you learn how not to use too much paper, because number one, it's not easy to walk all over the place. Number two, you have no place to keep. We do have some small cabinet in case we do need to keep something confidential. Yeah. You can see that at the end of the day, after people have finished with their work, they just clear everything up, they put everything in their locker, and they go home. Tomorrow they come and start again. Maybe in the same desk, maybe someplace else.
No fixed lines as well.
Oh.
You don't see a single telephone on anybody's desk. So what it means is that I'm not tied up to that desk. Otherwise, the extension 434 is I have to be there. If not, I can't take a call. Everything is on Wi-Fi. Everything is on mobile. Come, we have another cool place to go and see. But we have a very nice auditorium. We just opened it last week, and we use it for the normal purposes in the office or having meeting. But we also want to use it more. We want to bring external people, we want to bring visitors, we want to bring... This used to be an auditorium also many years, a few months ago. But it was a typical auditorium, you know, the one that goes up like a place where you keep your chicken.
Not really.
Nothing fancy. You just have a big wall with some magnet and that's it. Everybody can pass by and everybody can keep track of what's happening in the market.